Okay, my name is Matt Baker, and tonight I will be refuting the claim that the negative health repercussions of caffeine far outweigh the benefits. As such, I am refuting the point that originally the speech stated that there was a study done by the National Cancer Institute that stated that caffeine can cause a increased risk for fibrocystic breast disease, and also that caffeine headaches can arise from the quantity of caffeine a person intakes in a short amount of time. The first point I will be refuting is the point about the cancer. The study originally stated that if you take in 250 milligrams of caffeine a day as a woman, you have a 50% increased risk for fibrocystic breast disease. And if you take in 500 milligrams of caffeine a day, you have a 150% risk, increased risk for fibrocystic breast disease. However, when you really take the numbers and break them down, 250 milligrams of caffeine is actually over 3 cups of coffee, because each cup of coffee only contains about 80 milligrams of caffeine on average. So you need, I don't know about you, but I don't know many people who drink 3 cups of coffee a day habitually, and also you're going to take in all 500 milligrams, you're going through between 6 and 7, somewhere around that range. Recently, another study done by Shuman Zhang of Brigham and Women's Hospital, along with Harvard and the Archives of Internal Medicine, surveyed 39,000 women and studied the impact of caffeine on their breast health. They found absolutely no link between caffeine consumption and increases in risk for breast disease. The study also included in it, in the section near the end, it actually refutes previous studies that have been done that, and it states that the figures they received on the increases in breast problems due to caffeine were likely due to pure chance. The second point I'm refuting is the one about caffeine headaches. Caffeine headaches in the presentation were stated to be caused by excessive intake, and then drastically lowering the intake. Well, this caffeine intake is actually not technically true. In order to actually get a caffeine headache on average, you need to take in over an entire month a total of 15 grams of caffeine, breaking down to 15,000 milligrams of caffeine, which is 500 milligrams of caffeine a day, which is once again 6 to 7 cups of coffee a day. And then you need to pretty much stop your intake. This is actually not, a caffeine headache isn't caused by the caffeine itself, it's actually caused by a dependency on the caffeine, and your brain forms a sort of addiction, but it's not quite an actually addictive drug according to the World Health Organization. It is actually, excuse me, it's actually sort of not, it's kind of like a half addiction, and when you stop taking it, your body wants it again, and you get the headaches. Following the whole time, if you actually manage to take in that much caffeine over an entire month and stop it, that's when you get your caffeine headache, and even then it can be cured with a piece of chocolate, and that's about 30 milligrams of caffeine. This refutation has a very simple effect. It removes the fear that it kind of can cause of consuming caffeine. When I first heard these facts, it sounds something along the lines of, oh no, I don't want to drink caffeine, I'm going to get cancer. I studied it more, discovered the risks are very hard. I mean, the actual risks that are involved with caffeine are very hard to do. I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't drink that much caffeine a day, and I would find it very hard to drink about, 7 cups of coffee a day. Crazy, jittery, like a crazy little fly or something. There's a lot of things that people don't realize even contain caffeine. Chocolate, Tylenol, and the migraine-relieving headache drug, Excedrin, all contain caffeine. Excedrin actually contains 65 milligrams of caffeine, which is almost a cup of coffee. So no matter what, even if these exist, I wouldn't expect many people to stop drinking their coffee or eating chocolate because they love it and, it wakes you up. Personally, I still swear by my morning coffee. Thank you.
All right, Matt, you did a nice job laying out the advocate's claim and their secondary claims. You structured your argument in response to the first and the second points pretty clearly. On the first point, you challenged the grounds that the advocate used. You've got a good study on your own, and you've got some direct attack on the probability that the other study found their conclusions as a result of chance. I thought that that worked pretty effectively. I like the way that you also analyzed the amount of caffeine that a person would have to take in. Now, what I didn't see is much data that talked about what the average consumption of caffeine is. You say, well, that's 3 cups a day at the low end and 6 or 7 at the high end. But where's the data that talks about what the average person consumes? You used your own personal experience, but I'm not sure that everybody is going to fall into that category. 3 cups of coffee sounds like a morning for a lot of people, you know, without thinking too hard about it. And, you know, if you replace that with, you know, forget cups of coffee, but cans of soda, I'm sitting here going, no, that sounds like that sounds like my morning. You know, I had 6 cans this morning. I should be going on. Yeah. You know, all those kinds of things. So, you know, if you had some numbers about what the average caffeine consumption was, then I think you could even dismiss the argument a little bit more. You've got a good challenge there. I just think that you need to have more follow-up on it. On the second, on the second point, I thought that you had a nice, clear explanation of what the source of the headaches were, and the one thing that I think you needed was a demonstration. You said it could be solved by taking a chocolate bar and fixing it, and I'm going, well, that sounds about right, but you know what? Where'd you get that information? You know, I believe it. I'm not doubting it, but there's no source citation on it. Right at the very end, where you've got all that information about other sources of caffeine, I'm not sure that helps you at all. In fact, it actually might help the advocate's argument a little bit more. All right.